Hey, how's it going, Willie? My name is Jack with Mr. and Mrs. Leeds. I was tasked with actually taking a look at your page online and seeing how we can help increase your presence online. So let me go ahead and get started. So as you can see, I've already pulled up your website to kind of see some on-page elements to see if there's anything that we can fix right away to help with that online presence. The first thing that I do notice is that there's a lack of a phone number up here at the top. It's always good to have. Do you see how at the bottom of your website you have your direct line in the office? It's always nice to have it up at the top because a lot of people are on their phones when they're looking at your website these days. And you want to make sure that that phone number is at the top so that when people are trying to contact you about any of those listings that you have on your website, they can see that immediately and make sure that that phone is actually a link so that when they click on that on their smartphone, it'll take it straight to the phone number and they'll be able to dial right away. The other thing that I noticed right here is, do you see how right here the how much is your home worth get instant property value now? What I would do is I would actually bump that up before the like or share address and our current listings part. You definitely want to be able to collect a lot of leads. There's a lot of people that don't actually want to pick up the phone and call you. They don't know if they're going to be talking to someone directly, if there's going to be someone from India, or if maybe it's going to take them straight to a voicemail. But if they can just enter a simple information like their name, number, and their home address, they're much more susceptible to be doing something like that, and that'll just increase your leads, increase conversions and sales, of course. The other thing that I noticed is that there's a little bit, you have a decent amount of content on here, but you definitely want to shoot for close to 500 to 700 words per page. So you can see right here on the areas we serve, you have the Celebration, Davenport, Dark, Phillips, and all the other different pages. And what I've noticed is you do have some content on here, and I can tell that you were correctly explaining that kind of information to your SEO team, but you definitely want to make sure that you're shooting for that 500 to 700 words per page mark, because you're closer to about 300 to 500. The reason why it's so important that you have content on these inner pages is because that's how you actually make money in the long tail phrases. So what I mean by a long tail phrase is basically any keyword that is a longer phrase that someone searches for your specific product or service. So in your case, it would be real estate brokers. Now, there's going to be people out there that are going to be looking for real estate out in Orlando, but they're not necessarily going to just search up real estate Orlando. They might be searching up phrases like real estate out in Davenport, real estate in Winter Park, right? So you're going to be capturing a lot more of those kinds of phrases when you start adding the content onto the inner pages. And that's so important because it's much harder to rank for your main keyword, like something like Orlando real estate, or best places to buy real estate or homes in Orlando. It's a lot easier for you to be able to rank for those longer tail phrases like Celebration real estate, Celebration places to buy homes in Celebration, and things like that. And what happens when you add content to these inner pages is you start getting credit for this in terms of Google's eyes, and you start ranking for these longer tail keywords. And you're definitely going to start seeing more traffic coming to your website, especially on those inner pages, which will lead to leads and conversions and more sales, right? So definitely make sure that you have more content on your website. The next thing I want to talk about is your citations. So what a citation is basically the number of directories that your website is being found on. So what I mean by that is, do you see right here you have your address, your number, and the name of your business? That information has to be submitted to a bunch of citations so that Google can see in their eyes that you are a legitimate website with a legitimate address and a profile. And what that'll do is that'll actually help you increase your presence for those kinds of areas, and Google's going to give you more credit beyond before anyone else, because your competitors in Orlando out there don't have a lot of citations for that area. And if you can capitalize on that and make sure that your citations are on there and all the best places that Google knows that it's going to bring authority to your website, they're going to give you more credit, and they're going to make your website rank before the other websites. So currently, when I was looking at your citations, you're right in between 10 to 50. We definitely want to shoot that closer to 200, 300 citations, and that's definitely going to help you boost in the rankings for sure. So definitely look into that. The last thing I want to talk about are your backlinks. Now, backlinks are basically a tool, or basically a backlink are websites that are pointing to your website. So what I mean by that is, let me pull up Ahrefs real quick, which is a tool that allows us to, you know what, I'm not going to use Ahrefs, that's okay. I'll just explain what the backlinks are, because I don't want to log this in But basically, the websites, if you have more websites that are pointing to your website, you're going to get more credit in terms of Google's eyes. This is a very important metric that Google utilizes to determine what websites should rank before others. So when you have more quality websites, more referring domains and backlinks that are pointing to your website, you're gonna get more credit. You're gonna get higher rankings, and everything is just going to show up higher in their searches because it's such an important metric that Google looks at in its search algorithm. So you want to make sure that you're getting quality, relevant links. So those backlinks that you're getting, you have to make sure that they have to do with real estate and things like that. And then they also have to have link power, which is kind of basically how many other websites are pointing to that website that's pointing to your website, right? So when you're talking to your SEO person, it doesn't necessarily have to be us. I mean, we would love to work with you, but you want to make sure that they're getting quality backlinks and getting the kind of backlinks that are really going to show relevancy in Google's eyes and give you that credit for Orlando real estate and the nearby counties and areas. So I hope that helped and gave you a little bit more information about how your website is doing compared to your competition. You can always reach out to us at Mr. and Mrs. Leads at gmail.com. And if you can pull up the website, you can always go there and then call us as well if you need to. Hope that helps. I hope you have a great day, Willie, and take care. Thank you.